Alright, everybody, hello, welcome to the stream. In today's stream, we are going to be talking about King of Shadows, which is the third part of the pilot season. Now, as I will explain here at the start, I am going to be streaming episode reviews for all the episodes that I have not reviewed of Ninjago yet. I already see the chat filling up with people. Thank you guys very much for watching. And for those of you guys wondering if I sound a little tired or out of it, yeah, I mean, I only got like 3 hours of sleep and may or may not have just woken up like a half hour ago, but hey, let's go ahead and get started here with this review. And the kitties walk in. Hello. Oh, my cats are here. They came to see the stream. But thank you to everyone joining us in chat right now. We will be streaming here. I'm not sure how long this stream is going to go for, as you see on your info screen right now. Basically, these streams will happen, if you guys are new here, these streams will happen Monday through Friday. Usually we'll start up at 12 p.m. and go until 1 p.m. That is Central Time, and mainly what we'll be doing is an episode review plus a Q&A. So obviously the episode review is the main reason why I'm streaming, because I want to go ahead and review all the Ninjago episodes that I haven't streamed yet, or I haven't reviewed yet, rather. But then we will go ahead and do a Q&A towards the end, because usually that builds up. So if you guys wanted to ask questions, I guess, about the episode that we're reviewing during the stream, then I will answer them. But all questions other than that should be saved until after the review. Thank you, Jake Antman, for the donation. Thank you very much. Is it a euro or a pound? Not too sure about that. It's early, my bad. But thank you for the donation. And Super Tiger with the donation as well. Thank you very much. Super Tiger is a regular here on the streams, so big shout out to them. Thank you very much for the donation. So let's go ahead and get started here. We are, of course, talking about King of Shadows, which again is the third part of the pilot season. Now, just to answer a quick question that I saw in the chat earlier, which was, am I just watching these for the first time? No, I've obviously seen these for a very long time. I mean, I remember watching the pilot season when I was really young, when Ninjago was first coming out. I'm just going back and reviewing the episodes that I have not reviewed as of yet. So let's go ahead and play the slideshow for this episode while we go ahead and cover the plot summary. Then we'll talk about some of the good stuff, and then we'll talk about the bad stuff, and then we will give the episode a score out of 10 to conclude the review. And again, just letting you guys know, this stream might be ending a little bit early today. Not too sure when I want to end it, but again, I am really tired and I kind of want to relax today. So not sure if we'll end this 10-15 minutes early. We'll kind of see how it goes going on. So just letting you guys know, there will be a lot of time for Q&A stuff at the end, so don't worry about that. So let's go ahead and get started by talking about the plot of this episode, and then I will answer some viewer questions related to the pilot episode in question. So first things first, the ninja are basically traveling to what's known as the Frozen Wasteland to recover the shurikens of ice. On the way there, they go ahead and learn about the tornado of creation from Master Wu, and he kind of explains to the ninja that, you can't really be using this like left and right. You gotta plan it because it could have dire consequences. Of course, the ninja don't really know what he means by that, but it will be explained later on. So, yeah. What do you think? How Garmadon moves in shadow form and could affect the material world? I mean, well, he uses his shadows later on in the episode to go ahead and fight off Kai, so I think like his shadows do have an effect on the material world, but obviously Garmadon in his physical form couldn't really cross over as of this point, so yeah. Do I think that they should add the pilot episodes to Netflix? Absolutely. They had them on there at one point. I don't know why they took them off. But anyway, continuing on with the plot, then it shows the characters climbing or going to the ice chamber where Zane tries to go ahead and claim the shurikens, but obviously gets attacked by the ice dragon, and the ninja make a quick getaway out of there, but they do get away with the shurikens of ice. Next, we see the ninja journeying to the floating ruins where they are trying to retrieve the nunchucks of lightning, but the lightning dragon appears and tries to stop them, but luckily the ninja escape using the invention made by Jay, the winged glider thing. They use that and they get away fairly safely. Now they go ahead and actually rest in the forest and kind of celebrate a little bit, which again is kind of fun to see. The Forest of Tranquility is what it's called. I forgot how weird the pilots looked. Yeah, it was early Ninjago. I mean, it's not like the best thing ever, but it's still like it still kind of holds up by today's standards. But it's definitely very, very early Ninjago, which is understandable. At the Forest of Tranquility, rather, after they go ahead and rest for a little bit, Kai has a vision of Nia, and he follows this Nia vision to the Fire Temple, where he goes ahead and finds the Fire Sword, otherwise known as the Sword of Fire. Nia's vision turns out to be just Garmadon taunting him, and the real Nia appears and is kind of being dangled over lava. Kai doesn't really, know what to do in this situation, but Garmadon still continues to taunt him. No, this ain't pre-recorded. This is all live right here. So, yeah, if I wanted to do like a live premiere, I would, but I kind of want to live stream these, so just because it's a little bit more fun. Yeah, I remember when Wu said that. We'll talk about that when we get more into the bad stuff of this of this episode. But it's not terrible by any means. But let's go ahead and continue with the plot. So Garmadon lowers Nia over the lava, and Kai just kind of has a little bit of a reaction to that. Jumps up, grabs the Sword of Fire, and frees Nia. And Garmadon isn't really taking this too lightly. He kind of shows up and tries to fight Kai in his shadow form. Super Tiger with another donation. Thank you very much. Nostalgia. Yes, indeed. Actually, revisiting the pilots has been really fun for me because I get to go ahead and rewatch them and write some notes. And again, it's very nostalgia heavy for me as well. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to go ahead and review some of the older episodes of Ninjago that I haven't talked about on the channel before, because it's nice to me. It's nice for me to go ahead and revisit that, because Ninjago, especially these episodes, these were a big part of my childhood. So it's very nice to go ahead and revisit that. Lots of pleasant memories going through here. So really happy that I'm doing this. So I hope you guys are enjoying this as well. Anyway, Garmadon goes ahead and tries to fight Kai using his shadow army, but Wu steps in and intervenes and uses his own shadows to go ahead and fight off Garmadon and save Kai. Meanwhile, at the camp, the other ninja, Jay, Zane, and Cole, are attacked by the skeleton army and kind of tied up, and their golden weapons are taken, and the skeletons make a quick getaway. The ninja, however, escape thanks to Jay, and they go ahead and follow them, while also pulling off some really impressive ninja skills and some also equally impressive fast running. So definitely ninja material right there, especially Jay. I remember that was always like so cool when I was young, just seeing Jay like run, because back in the day, back when these were coming out, Jay was my favorite ninja. So anything that Jay did, I was like, oh my god, he's doing it. So awesome. But yeah, obviously my favorite ninja changes a lot from season to season and from year to year. So yeah, at one point I will go through my history of my favorite ninja, but not in this stream, maybe another time. But anyway, after the big chase scene ends, the skeletons actually escape to the underworld with the golden weapons, leaving the ninja pretty helpless, and Jay actually does lose his voice. So yeah, so pretty interesting stuff going on there. Meanwhile, at the Fire Temple, we do get one last little scene with Garmadon, Wu, Kai, and Nia. The Fire Dragon is summoned, and Wu actually escapes down to the underworld as well in order to confront his brother on his turf, and he takes the Sword of Fire with him. And that pretty much leaves Kai and Nia stranded in the Fire Temple with the dragon, but that will go ahead and lead into the next episode of this season, or at least the conclusion of the pilots. So that'll pretty much do it for the plot summary of this entire thing. So let's go ahead and get started by talking about some good things about this pilot episode. So first of all, this episode is really good as well. Revisiting the pilots, I completely forgot how good they actually were, and I might need to do an updated ranking video once I go ahead and go through all of the seasons that I haven't reviewed yet, because this is actually pretty good. It's not my favorite pilot episode out of the 3 that I've revisited so far. This is probably my least favorite, but in terms of good stuff, obviously the really cool locations that we visit are always super fun to see. The frozen wasteland, the floating ruins, and also the fire temple. Those 3 are amazing. That picture with Wu's puffy beard is amazing. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure why it's like that. Just so happened to be the screenshot that I found, but it's definitely a fun image, and it kind of represents some humor in this episode. So yeah, but the cool locations are really fun. My favorite of which is probably the fire temple, and it kind of makes me a little disappointed that we didn't get a fire temple set for Legacy. I never really got the original fire temple, and I was kind of hoping for a Legacy fire temple, but maybe one day. Other than that, I'm not really sure where this comes from. Can't hear you. Well, is anyone else having audio issues? If so, we can go ahead and fix it. But it just depends on if the whole chat is having issues or not. If it's just the one person, that's probably something on your end. Aren't there only two pilots? It depends on how you watch them. I mean, in some places they were split up into two parts, in some places they were split up into four parts. So, for the sake of just, uh, carrying it out, I'm going ahead and reviewing them in four parts. Some people are saying they can hear, some people are saying they can't hear. Oh, and my kitty hopped up on the desk, and she's sitting on my notes. All right, that's cool. Yeah. But talking about some more good stuff, it seems like most of the chat's fine, so we'll just continue on. So in terms of other good stuff, I really like the dragons, though. The original elemental dragons are always so cool, and especially the fire dragon. Again, that was part of like my childhood, and I was always kind of like upset that I didn't get that original fire temple set because that came with the big fire temple and the fire dragon, and I really, really wish that I would have gotten it. But unfortunately, I never did, and I can't really get a legacy version of it because a legacy version of the Fire Temple just does not exist, which is very unfortunate. But Garmadon versus Kaya is also really cool. Again, Garmadon cannot really cross over to the physical world yet in his regular form, but with his shadow form, he puts up quite an interesting fight against Kai. He basically creates a whole bunch of legacy, or not legacy, I was reading the chat. He basically creates a whole bunch of shadow Kais, and they all fight him. I was reading the comment that said Legacy Fire Dragon. No, that thing does not exist. We don't acknowledge that. But yeah, it's a pretty interesting set. It's just like, is that the Legacy Fire Temple? No, I was hoping for like a better one, but it's whatever. I mean, it's fine. We need some sets to be sacrificed like that. So yeah, but Garmadon versus Kai is pretty cool. And also the big thing that I want to mention in terms of good stuff is the ninja chase where they face off against the skeletons. Of course, Cole, Jay, and Zane. That fight, or that chase rather, was always super cool to me as a child. I really loved seeing that and revisiting it. It's all that much more fun for me to watch, obviously. I mean, like, a lot of stuff in the pilots are really fun to revisit, but that chase scene was always a favorite of mine as a kid, and certainly it like made for some really excellent ninja action. And again, Jay running is super cool because he hauls that, he like runs, which is really cool to me. And again, Jay was my favorite, so anything that Jay does, I was instantly like smitten with him, if you will. But now obviously that's changed. But I really do like that. In terms of bad stuff, there's not a whole lot, but I always thought, and I always thought this as a kid as well, that the golden weapons, or at least the first two in this episode, the shurikens of ice and the nunchucks of lightning, were like taken way too, I guess, quickly. The Scythe of Quakes basically had its whole entire episode dedicated to it, and the other two golden weapons in this episode, besides the Sword of Fire, I always felt like were taken a little too quickly and it weren't really built up all that much. Again, you can't really have like a big, like, drawn out scene for every single golden weapon, but if the pilots were longer, I expect that we would have gotten something like that. In terms of time, obviously, this is like a time crunch thing where they couldn't really showcase a big message or a big, like, you know what I'm trying to say, a big journey for all the golden weapons. But the fire sword actually got some attention, which I guess is kind of cool. And the other two golden weapons weren't really like shadowed over, but it definitely wasn't like they took their time with them, if that makes sense. Also, I do need to mention the dance scene in the forest. Not my favorite thing ever. But yeah, I'm not gonna take off too many points for that. But it was kind of cringy. I hate using that word cringy, but even when I was younger, I was like, oh man, who is this for? I guess some people would like it. I did not. And that's one part of the episode that I just don't like. I mean, as soon as Wu started dancing and whatnot, I was just like, nah, this ain't the best thing ever. So that's pretty much all I got to say for the bad stuff. Overall, this pilot episode was really good. All the pilots are really fun to revisit, and it's really cool to see where Ninjago came from, and it's nice to go ahead and compare it to modern day Ninjago and see how far the series has gone since then. So, for the sake of this episode, though, and you guys can go ahead and rate this episode out of 10 as well in the chat, but in terms of my rating, I went ahead and gave it an 8.5 out of 10. So, that's my final rating for this episode. Probably my least favorite of the pilots so far. I got to rewatch part 4 yet, but in terms of this episode, 8.5 out of 10 for me. Super Tiger with another donation. Thank you very much. What's my favorite golden weapon? I was always a big fan of the Scythe of Quakes. I feel like that's my favorite, and not because I really like Cole now. I just always thought that weapon was best in terms of design and function. So I see a lot of 10s out of 10s, 9s, 8s, 8.5s, 7, someone with a 4 out of 10. Um, but overall, the general consensus from what I'm seeing right now, 1,000 out of 10 that dance though. Oh yes, my bad. How could I like, how could I even rate it that low when this episode featured Woo's epic dance in the forest? 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Yeah, so pretty average stuff. Um, I'm seeing a lot of 7s, 8s, and 9s. So yeah, pretty much what I expected. This episode was not bad by any means. It just had some stuff that I really didn't care for, but overall, this episode was pretty good, all things considered. So hopefully, you guys enjoyed the review segment of this episode. So now, what we can do is hop on over to Q and A using this magical screen here of Prime Empire Avatar J, kind of summoning the Q&A thing. I've seen a lot of people asking like why I do Prime Empire stuff for streams. It's just because the streams are more fun that way. In my opinion, Prime Empire has a really nice looking layout, and that works well with live streams. In my opinion, kind of lines up. But let's go ahead and get some pictures rolling in the background here. We are now stepping away from the pilot episode review and talking about some Q&A stuff. So you guys are free to ask any question that you want. I will answer the question what Ninjago said is most nostalgic to you, because I saw that one being asked a lot. But in terms of my most nostalgic Ninjago set, it has to be a spinner set. My first Ninjago set ever was the original Zane spinner, and that's always going to be something that I remember. But in terms of an actual nostalgic set, probably the Lloyd ZX spinner, because that spinner and me have history in terms of a story and in terms of how I got it, because it was a huge pain back in the day when I was 12 years old trying to get that spinner. It was all I wanted, and it took me a really long time to get it, so probably that one. The spinners were always super fun though, and being a young kid with hardly any income aside from like allowances, the spinners were pretty much all I could afford. So the Lloyd ZX spinner was like the cheapest way to go ahead and get the Green Ninja, which I was obsessed with during the first couple of seasons, and it just seemed like the right thing to do, because I'm not going to get the epic Dragon Battle set. I just took a drink of my beverage here. The beverage for today is an Ocean Spray Ruby Red. Not sponsored, but it tastes pretty good. Um, do you like the fire chapter? I hate it. The fire chapter is okay. I mean, like, season 11 is probably the weakest season of Ninjago, but the fire chapter is fine, but the ice chapter is a lot better in my opinion. Later on, we will switch the background images. I got a few seasons lined up here. I'm slowly adding the rest of the seasons into the slideshow thing. Some of them are jumping, so maybe we will switch to a different season for right now. Maybe Skybound will work for me, because season 11. Oh no, Skybound's not working either. That's weird. Well, got a little bit of an issue here with the background images, but as long as it doesn't bother you guys, we should be fine here. Do I know anything about season 14? Um, well, there's not a whole lot that's out yet. I mean, everything that I know, you guys already know because I've done videos about it. I don't have like any insider information or anything like that. Like Lego isn't like Lego doesn't do that for me. Lego's not like rolling up in my DMs or whatever being like, "Hey, we got some insider information about Ninjago just cuz it's you. We want to go ahead and, tell you." I'm not that special, unfortunately. So everything I know about season 14 is already up on the channel for you guys to watch. So obviously when more information comes out, I will go ahead and do more videos about that. But as of right now, I know nothing aside from what's already on the channel. Do I like the Lloyd season 14 figure? I do. I feel like it's really good looking. It's a lot better than I've seen it compared to the Hands of Time Lloyd a lot in terms of busyness. Um, but I really do like it. I feel like it's going to look really great when it's all put together. It's still missing the armor and the mask from the image that we saw. So I don't know. I feel like it's going to be really cool. I feel like all the ninja this season are going to look awesome. So I can't wait for that. If you could pick one Ninjago wave, which wave would you pick? Not the Ninjago movie. Ooh, because the Ninjago movie would be the one that I would pick, man. The Ninjago movie has all the best stuff. But in terms of a TV show wave, I'd probably say, hmm, maybe the first wave of Ninjago Legacy, just because they had a lot of good stuff in there and they had all those really cool spinners. Yeah, I think so. Honestly, the Ninjago Legacy sets are kind of nostalgic to me already, even though they're only like a year old. But I remember going January of last year, going to my local Target and buying a whole bunch of Ninjago Legacy sets like on day one, which was really cool. And that was a nice little journey that I had to myself. Another good memory of Ninjago for me. I really liked that. What question do you want me to ask? You're free to ask whatever you want, man. This is a free open session as long as it's not like, like a rude question or a overly personal question. You'll be fine. And then I will say, just as a reminder again for the chat, not really saying that anybody is spamming, but if you guys want your questions answered, try not to spam, because if you spam the chat with your question over and over again, it kind of fills up the chat and kind of prevents other people from asking questions. And, it makes me not want to answer the question. So just letting you guys know that. You're free to ask the same question every now and then if I don't get to it, but, try to space them out, I guess. Thoughts on Woo's teas? Oh, I haven't thought about Woo's teas in a very long time. That just opened up like a whole bunch of like really awful flashbacks. I remember when that came out. Those were weird, like very, very strange short films for Ninjago. Not a fan of that. I remember doing a video about that and being like, why does this exist? This makes no sense. Do I think Neo looks hot? Nah, man. I'm not a Nia supporter. Ninjago for Smash Bros. Absolutely. If Ninjago was a video game franchise before a TV show or a Lego theme or anything like that, that'd be pretty sick. When do I think the season 14 teaser will release? It's hard to say, honestly. It just kind of depends on what's going on. I think sometime in January it'll come out, because that's kind of been the consistent thing with all of the Ninjago seasons. They've kind of released teasers in January, so probably January. Yeah, Wu's Tease is entertaining, but it's just like really weird. It feels out of place. Do I collect other Lego besides Ninjago? Not so much anymore, unless there's like something really cool that comes out, like for Lego Ideas or something like that. But back in the day when Ninjago was first coming out, I was really big into Hero Factory. So my favorites were like Hero Factory and Ninjago, like side by side. Um, but obviously Hero Factory ended, but then Bionicle came out again, so I started collecting Bionicle sets. And then that ended. I have every single Bionicle set from the second generation, so I guess that's something. I feel like the second generation of Bionicle ended way too quickly, and it kind of sucks. But as of right now, I don't really collect anything besides Ninjago sets. I wanted to get some Monkey Kid stuff because Monkey Kid looks really fun, but Monkey Kid, I don't know. Some of the sets look good, but the only good ones are super expensive, and I don't really feel like investing a lot of money into Monkey Kid when I know nothing about it. I will get around to watching it eventually. Super Tiger with another donation. Thank you very, very, very much. Would you ever want Morrow to return? I feel like if Morrow ever did come back, it'd be pretty cool because he could be a very strong ninja ally. So that'd be pretty fun. I always felt like after Day of the Departed, he should have stayed alive and joined the ninja team. Can you imagine Morrow on the team? That'd be awesome. He could be like the gray ninja before Nia was the gray ninja. Nia would have to find another color, but dark red's always available. Taking another drink of my, what is this? My ruby red. What happened to Bronze Zane from Skybound? You mean Echo Zane? Well, after Jay and Nia found him in the lighthouse, it's not like they ever went back for him, especially after the timeline was reset. I mean, Jay and Nia still know he's there, but none of the other ninja remember Skybound, so he's just still sitting in the lighthouse. Like, no one's gone back for him yet. There was a canceled scene in Sons of Garmadon where it was going to be revealed that Echo Zane was actually Mr. E, but that was scrapped before the season came out because the writers felt like there was too much going on in Sons of Garmadon already, and they didn't really feel the need to reveal that it was Echo Zane and then have to go into his backstory of, who programmed him, why is he evil now, just stuff like that. So I think they made the right call. But as of the timeline right now, Echo Zane is just sitting in that lighthouse still. Very lonely boy. Can we get some F's in the chat for Echo Zane? That's kind of messed up, though, when you think about it. They just kind of left him there. Do I have anything planned for the 10th anniversary? Not so much yet. I do want to do a couple of celebratory videos. Yes, look at all the F's in the chat for Echo Zane. I do want to go ahead and do a few celebratory videos for the 10th anniversary, but I'm not sure what those are just yet. In terms of what LEGO has planned for Ninjago, I have no idea. It could be anything. Whole bunch of F's for Echo Zane. Yes, very sad. What's better, the movie or seasons? Well, obviously the actual show is a lot better, but the movie itself is very good in its own way. It's very awesome. What episode do I hate the most? Well, I've said this in a few other streams, but I'll mention it again. My least favorite Ninjago episode is probably the episode from season 11, entitled "The News Never Sleeps." It's horrible. I really just do not like that episode at all. That might be my lowest rated Ninjago episode on the channel. I have no idea. My lowest rated episode is one of them from season 11. Super Tiger with yet another donation. Thank you very, very much, Super Tiger. Very generous. Who's the strongest villain in Ninjago? Either the Overlord or the Omega. It just kind of depends on what you're looking at. I actually did a video on this recently. It's not out yet. I think it's going to come out sometime this weekend. But I talk about the Overlord and the Omega and which 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 villain is going to be stronger. Because the Overlord conquered a lot of Ninjago and faced off against some really powerful beings in Ninjago, but the Omega conquered a whole bunch of realms. So it just kind of depends on what you look at. What Ninjago villain would I like to see return? Either Moro as a good guy, Nadakon, or the Time Twins. Those are like three that are like, obvious to come back. Turn on slow mode, it would really help. I was thinking about that before the stream started. But yeah. Try not to spam. We really haven't had like a big issue with spamming yet. But again, if you want your question answered, try not to spam it. Ask it every now and then. Thoughts on Ronan? Ronan's okay. He's not my favorite character. He's kind of a not so good person in a lot of ways, but he also can be a good person sometimes. So I don't know. He's kind of hit or miss for me, honestly. He's not my favorite character. He also has this really weird relationship with Nia that I don't really like, and it kind of makes me a little uncomfortable. But that's neither here nor there. Do I like Infinity War or Endgame more? Gotta go with Endgame. Endgame, like Infinity War, the general consensus that I've seen between those two movies are Infinity War is the better movie, but Endgame is like a better conclusion. I don't know what is going on with this slideshow, man. This is kind of ridiculous. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can't fix this here. Let's try that. Does that work? I think that might have worked. Alright, we'll let it go for a little bit. But I would personally pick Endgame as my preferred choice. It's still doing it. I have no idea what's going on with this slideshow today. Well, which slideshow is working? Is it Tournament that's working? I think so. Then we'll just let it run on Tournament. Apologies for the slideshow mishaps. I am not sure what's going on there. Super Tiger with another donation. Thank you very much. Who's your favorite army, skeletons or snakes? Oh, they're both not really so good to me, but I'd have to go with maybe skeletons because I always thought they were a lot cooler. I prefer Samukai over Pythor. Favorite Jurassic Park / World movie? Here's my issue with the Jurassic Park film franchise. In my opinion, only the first one matters. If the other ones didn't exist, I wouldn't care. I really don't like any of the other Jurassic Park movies aside from the first one, which is a classic. My least favorite is probably the most recent one, Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. I hate that movie with a passion. I remember seeing it in the theater and thinking like, oh my God. I went and saw that movie with my mom because she's a big Jurassic World or Jurassic Park fan, and she really likes the new movies. Um, but I just I didn't like it. She liked it, of course, but I didn't. But those are my 2 cents on the Jurassic Park movies. The new one that's coming out though sounds like it has a lot of potential, so maybe it could be really good. I also have a lot of nostalgia for Jurassic Park 3 because I used to watch that with my dad a lot. But growing up, I've come to realize that Jurassic Park 3 ain't that good of a movie. So that's the thing with like watching movies like when you're younger, you don't really like recognize that it's a bad movie until you get older. That was me with like the Transformers movies as well. Like the first couple of Transformers movies aren't all that great, but when I was younger, I really liked them. Let's see what else we got here. Thoughts on the Oni? I feel like they're a good idea for a villain, but it's not like they had much screen time or development, so I feel like they could have been used a little bit more. SunX Halo 23 with the 199 donation. Thank you very, very, very much. What is your favorite Ninjago fight and why? Well, to answer your question, I believe one of the best Ninjago fights ever is the final battle between Lloyd and the Overlord. But if I had to pick like an actual fight, I'd definitely say Zane versus Mr. E from Sons of Garmadon because that fight is brutal, and the only reason why it's so like up close and brutal is because like they're both robots, so they can go ahead and destroy each other, and it's not going to be like super graphic for the viewer. It's the same logic that like Transformers uses, where it's like robot on robot action. You can go ahead and make that as brutal as you want because they're robots. If there was like a human versus human battle, it would never be like it would never be as good as that. I have come here to fight you. I love that line so much. Honestly, the final battle, like rewatching it, I recently rewatched it for a video. It's not the best thing ever, but it's just so iconic and nostalgic to me. I can't help but love it. So I hope that answers your question. What's my favorite anime? Either Clanad or Toradora. They're both like kind of cutesy romance anime, except like Clanad is super depressing, but it's so good though. But it's like, oh my God, I can't watch that again for a very long time. Yes, we're doing a Q&A. The first part of the stream was talking about part 3 of the pilots, but we've since passed that review, and we're now turning it over to a Q&A session for the rest of the stream. So, who's my favorite ninja? I love Cole. He's my favorite. Least favorite season 13 set? Um, I don't know. I mean, like the Mino creature isn't all that great. The Journey to the Skull Dungeons is kind of average in my opinion as well. So probably one of those. What if Cole dies in season 14? I doubt that's gonna happen. I had a theory that like Cole would be like a target in season 14 because of what he did to the Skull Sorcerer in the last season. The Vengestone buyer is probably not going to be too happy with Cole, so I kind of had a theory that he would be a target, but I don't know. It's kind of sounding like season 14 is going to be all about Lloyd, so I guess we'll see what happens there. Favorite and least favorite Marvel movie? In terms of the MCU, my favorite is Iron Man. My least favorite is Captain Marvel. I really just do not like that movie. I saw it once in the theater, hated it. I've never watched it again. Rest in peace. Thoughts on the Winter 2021 battle sets? I feel like they're a good idea and concept. I need to see what the minifigures look like though, because we just don't have that yet. Um, yeah, we don't have a look at the minifigs yet, unfortunately. But the actual concept sounds pretty cool. Favorite army of villains and why? Um, in terms of an army, I'd have to say the Ninjroids, just because I'm a big fan of like robots in general, and the Ninjroids are really really cool. I love Cryptor, but he's not a good character, but he's a really cool like design and concept. So I really like the Ninjroid army, and Mindroid's cute as well. He's a really underused character. Do I like the 1960 film Psycho? Yeah, I really love that movie. I own the Blu-ray of it in the other room, and I studied that movie in one of my film classes that I took at college. So I really like that movie. It's pretty cool. Have I started Crown Tundra? Yes, yes, I have. I played for a couple hours last night when it dropped, and I'm planning on continuing it later today. I got a few other things to do here after the stream gets done, but then I can sit back and play some Pokemon. It's really fun so far. And last night I was doing a raid and caught a shiny Dialga, which was really unexpected. And I was kind of freaking out. But you know, it's kind of fun. I really enjoy it. Can't wait to continue it. Do I like Dragon Ball? Unfortunately, no. I've worked with a lot of different people that love anime, and my most recent job, besides YouTube, of course, they were all big fans of Dragon Ball, One Piece, Naruto, and I'm just kind of sitting there. It's like, oh yeah, man, I haven't seen any of those. But the only thing I like from Dragon Ball, I really like some of the character names. Like I like Piccolo, and isn't there someone called like Nappa? I don't know. I don't know a lot about Dragon Ball. I just got all the Reggies. Nice. Yeah, I really need to go back through and I need to finish it. I'm only a few hours in. I need to finish it, and I'll probably do that today. In terms of like my favorite Reggie, uh, I gotta go with either Regigigas, the big lad, or Regirock. Obviously all the Reggies are really cool because, as I said earlier, I really love robots and droids and all that kind of stuff, and those Pokemon are basically robots, so they're really cool. They're like elemental robots. It's like, what's not to like about them? Those are awesome. And the two new ones in the Crown Tundra, you got what, Regieleki and Regidrago? Is that what they're called? They look pretty cool too. I think I prefer Regidrago a little bit more though. So, in my opinion, they should have added new Reggies a long time ago. Pink Ninja or Purple Ninja? Uh, gotta go with Pink Ninja Zane. Lil Nelson's cool and all, but his focus episodes from season 11 kind of suck a little bit. Do I like Stranger Things? I have never seen that. I wanted to watch it at some point, but I have not seen it. And excuse me, I was just trying to move my cat because she jumped up on the desk and I accidentally hit my light, so that's what that sound was. Do I like DC? Yeah, I mean, like some of the DC characters are pretty cool, and I really like Batman, and I love like the Dark Knight trilogy. But the DC EU, I really don't care for. There are only a handful of movies in that film franchise that I actually like, and there are some that I just haven't seen. My least favorites are probably Suicide Squad and Birds of Prey. I just really just don't like those. Like they try so hard to be Marvel, but they're not, and they kind of fall on their face, and it's kind of hilarious. But I hope that the new DC stuff will be good. Like Joker was really good. The new Batman that's coming out looks amazing with Robert Pattinson as Batman. That looks awesome. I can't wait. Dareth versus Green Screen Gary. Oh, dude. Green Screen Gary would win in like a landslide. Am I gonna do a face reveal at some point? Yeah, I've done a few face reveals before. They are kind of scattered all over the place. So if you just kind of Google Tanner Fishy's face reveal, you can probably find it. And I do have the ability to go ahead and put my face cam in this live stream, but I will not do that right now because, as I mentioned earlier in the stream, I literally woke up and started streaming, so my hair is kind of a mess. So unless you guys want to see my bed head, it's probably not a good idea for me to turn on my face cam. But yeah, you can go ahead and find it pretty easily if you just look it up. It's out there. I don't know if there's a recent picture of me out there, but you'll be able to find it. Do I think the Departed Realm should be explored more, or do you think Golden Power should come back in the Overlord? Yes to all those. I think the Departed Realm is a really kind of underused concept that they should explore absolutely. Golden Power should come back, and the Overlord should come back as well, probably in like a big Ninjago finale. At least that's just my my want. I really want both of those to come back. In a way, March of the Oni kind of had those. They didn't have the Overlord or Golden Power necessarily, but they were kind of hints of them throughout there. And March of the Oni was a pretty solid ending to the series, all things considered. Of course, it wasn't because it continued with season 11, but I would like a Ninjago ending similar to March of the Oni in terms of, I guess, its style and what it was trying to go for. I feel like that'd be really cool. I just want Ninjago to have an actual ending, man. When does season 14 come? Sometime in early 2021. We are not, I guess, familiar with an actual time when it's being released, but you know, sometime in early 2021. Why Cole love cake? Because cake is good. List in the chat, what's your favorite type of cake? See what people say. I personally like a deep chocolate cake with like chocolate frosting. Ugh, man, that'll do it for me. Do I think that the Overlord is an Oni? Probably not. The Overlord's probably just like an evil being. Yeah, April 2020 sounds pretty good. I would probably predict maybe like February, maybe even January. Red Velvet, oh, cheesecake, yes, dude. Yeah, chocolate cake is the best, man. And no, I do not play Mario Kart Tour. Who's my favorite Avenger? I really like Iron Man and Spider-Man, in terms of the current MCU, but Iron Man's kind of not around anymore, but he was my favorite. But the only Marvel movies I'm kind of looking forward to now are the Spider-Man ones, so guess that answers that. Who would win, all of us or Cole? Probably Cole, man. We couldn't take him. Do I like Pokemon Diamond? Yeah, actually, that was my first Pokemon game. It was the very first game that I ever started Pokemon with. Back in the Gen 4 era is when I first got into Ninjago. Or not Ninjago, Pokemon. um, so that was the first game I played. Um, favorite character in Ninjago, probably Cole or Skylar, one of those. I should make I think I've done a video on that actually. Like Garmadon's pretty cool. How many Ninjago sets do you have, and did you get my email? In terms of Ninjago sets, it's hard to say because I have a whole bunch of them kind of in storage and taken apart. And in terms of the email, I have to recheck. I get a lot of emails and messages daily, so it's hard for me to keep up with all of them. And that is something that I do want to address at some point. Is like a lot of folks do get a little upset with me that I don't answer messages or emails right away, and it's just because of like the sheer volume of emails and messages that I get on a daily basis. It's really difficult to go ahead and message all of them back. So apologies if I don't get to it, but that's pretty much my stance on that. Just a lot of stuff. Why in season 1 Jay has wind. I will be doing a video on that. There is already a video made on the channel that's scheduled to come out at some point over the next few days where I talk about that. But essentially, it was just a mistake on the writer's part. They didn't mean for that to be a thing. So basically, the Ninjago staff just wants you to pretend like Jay never used wind. That never happened. So, yeah. Why buy the sets if they're just going to stay in storage? Well, the sets that are in storage are probably the older sets that I own. So like stuff from like Rebooted, Tournament of Elements, stuff like that. The sets that I have right now on display are stuff from the movie because I really like the movie line, and some recent season 13 stuff and Prime Empire stuff. So it's not like I buy the sets and then put them into storage because that would be kind of useless. But eventually I will run out of space on the shelf, so they do have to go in storage, of course. Am I doing live streaming from Monday through Friday only? Yep, Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. EST time. And we will go over that again at the end of the stream for those of you guys that are still curious about that. Um, do I like the Ninjago movie? Yeah, it's really good to me. Some people don't, but I really enjoy it. Some people still haven't even seen the Ninjago movie yet, and it's kind of crazy because it's like, dude, it's really good. But people are just like kind of turned away from it because it's not the show, which yeah, I understand, but at the same time, it's really good. So you taking a day off for Saturday and Sunday? Yeah. Basically, since I'm doing YouTube full time now, basically what I do is I kind of plan out videos and schedule them during the week, so then I don't really need to do anything Saturday or Sunday. So we're not going to be streaming on Saturday or Sunday, and the only videos I will go ahead and make for Saturday and Sunday, if I do need to make a video on those days, are going to be like emergency uploads if a big news thing comes out. And obviously, we do have some scheduled videos going up on Saturday or Sunday, but I've already made those during the week. So we're still going to be getting videos every single day, but live streams are only going to be Monday through Friday. So hope that makes sense. When can we expect a studio tour? Hopefully sometime soon. I am in the process of making that. I know a lot of folks want that, and I'm really excited to go ahead and show you guys what I've been working on. But hopefully at some point, very, very soon, because I'd love to go ahead and show you guys the new studio. So hopefully that answers. I should put that on the schedule. I'll probably do that sometime this week, actually. Let me just write that down really quick. I saw a few comments asking if I know certain Ninjago YouTubers, and I know a few of them. I don't really like a lot of other Ninjago YouTubers out there, like a lot of the big ones, and I like have weird beef and stuff like that from way back in the day, and I still don't really care for them too much. Spitbricks, though, I don't have an issue with. I know a lot of people don't like him for whatever reason, but from the times that I've talked to him, he's been nice to me, so I've got no reason not to like him. We haven't talked in a very, very long time, but I remember back in the day when I was first starting my channel, he would comment on my stuff, I would comment on his stuff. Not sure what he's doing now. I don't really watch him or anything like that, but we used to talk. In terms of other big Ninjago YouTubers, a lot of interesting history there. He has a lot of clickbait, though. I mean, some people say it's clickbait, but I don't know. I don't really see an issue with it if we're being honest. Like, I remember looking at some of his stuff and being like, wait, why are people like upset over this guy? I don't know. It just kind of seems like people are kind of pulling things up. Undread ahead, Twitter account, your bio is messed up. Yeah, thanks for that. I don't run those accounts, but I will take a note of that and pass that along to my partner. So thank you very much. I've decided that we are just going to continue the stream for the full time, so we still got like 10 minutes left on the stream. I mentioned early on in the stream that we might be ending early. We're not doing that anymore. I don't hate him or anything. I just have a problem with this content. Yeah, I feel like that's a general consensus for a lot of people. I don't know. It's mainly just like the same basic stuff of why people just don't like other YouTubers. It's like, oh, it stretches out the videos to 10 minutes, lots of mid-roll ads, lots of advertising, but in a way, that's pretty much what we're doing on YouTube. It's like that. We want to try to strive to do our best and try to get paid for it because for a lot of us, this is our job. But there's a way to do that and not resort to like clickbait and stuff like that. And like a lot of people like accuse my videos of clickbait as well, even though they're not. Like I've never lied in a video. What do I think of Daily Roll Lord? Not the biggest fan, if we're being honest. It's nothing personal. It's just like I don't watch his stuff, and yet I still get accused of like stealing his content somehow. So that's my main issue with him. But it's not like I'm like hating on anyone or anything like that. I don't want to go ahead and seem like it's that, but that's just my issue. It's like I don't watch any Ninjago YouTubers for that specific reason, but it's whatever. How's my cat? They're good. They're just like hanging out right now. I got 3 of them running around the studio right now. They're all pretty fun. Shake what your mama gave ya. Yes. He comments on my videos sometimes. Really? So I know he watches my stuff. I just don't watch his. And there's a reason why I don't watch any other Ninjago YouTubers, and that's because I don't want to be accused of stealing content, but it still happens anyway, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. When did you think of the idea for starting this YouTube account? I started this YouTube channel way back when I was 13. I was mainly doing my Bionicle reviews and Hero Factory reviews because I wanted to be a LEGO review channel when I started out, but then I started doing Ninjago videos more often, and people started liking those, so I just decided to stick with that, and it's been really fun. iCarly or Drake and Josh. Ooh, gotta go with iCarly. Yeah, it's like I don't get what I'm doing wrong. It's like I make a new video and people are like, oh, you stole it from this person or that person, and it's like, bro. I remember the first time I got accused of stealing content. It was from a channel, I believe it was called HF Masters. I don't know if they're still doing videos because I don't watch them, but I remember they like accused me of stealing something back in the day, and it's like I don't know who you are, dude. I don't steal your stuff. So it's just kind of stuff like that. How are those pictures you put up for display? Pretty good. They're all working pretty well, I'd say. Rip Hero Factory. Yeah, Hero Factory was like, I don't know, Hero Factory was the best. Hero Factory got a lot of flack back in the day when it was coming out because people like accused it of like replacing Bionicle, which in a way it kind of did, but I thought it was really good. I was able to get invested into it right off the bat, and just overall it was like really, really fun to just go ahead and be invested in that. No one likes Hero Factory though. I don't know about that, man. I loved Hero Factory. A lot of other people did too. Hero Factory kind of ended with a whimper though, which was kind of dumb, but I collected a lot of Hero Factory stuff because like I said about like the Ninjago spinners and why I collected a lot of those as a kid, it's because they were very cheap. Like Hero Factory figures were like 10 bucks, 10, 12 bucks depending on what size the figure was, and it was like really good for me to like get those because I could afford those. So that's kind of why I got invested in Hero Factory stuff. I wish Hero Factory was still around, man. I really do. Will I collaborate with Brent Miller again? If he's up to it, I'd love to. I interviewed him back in the day because not only has Brent Miller done voices for Ninjago, he's also done voices for a lot of other stuff that I watch too, especially stuff from my childhood, like certain Transformers series and stuff like that. So it was really cool to talk to him. A lot of Ninjago voice actors actually came from Transformers. Like, fun fact, Kirby Morrow, who plays Cole, actually voiced the character Hotshot in Transformers Cybertron. That role was actually Brent Miller's in the first two parts of that trilogy. So Brent Miller kind of got replaced by Kirby Morrow, which is kind of funny. Um, but it's not like they were like there's like bad blood or anything like that between them. They're fine. They're all friends. I really like it. I'll answer the question. Do I play with Ninjago sets? I do not. I keep them on the shelf because I like to display them. I dust them off every now and then. But I will do a little bit of a timeout for spam. Let's see. There we go. Again, guys, try not to spam questions. Um, Name some of your favorite artists. I can't really say I have a favorite artist necessarily. Like I've seen some folks on Twitter that draw really awesome Ninjago fan art, but it's not like I like follow a lot of art accounts and stuff like that. So I don't really know if I have a favorite necessarily. Um, why did you why'd you think Ninjago hit so hard? Because it's emotional, I guess. um, but yeah, you should collab with what did I say? Unspeakable. I'm not sure who that is. Do they do like Lego content or something? Super Tiger with another donation. Thank you very much. Why does Lego sets collect so much dust? Because the human body drops a lot of dead skin on the floor, and when you walk across the floor, all that kind of shoots back up in the air, and then it lands on the sets, and that's why they get dusty. Speaking of dusty, I was talking about music artists. Oh, okay, fair enough. Well, I really like the Fold. Um, they're obviously they obviously do Ninjago music, but I'm also a big fan of country music. Unfortunately, a lot of people just do not like country music, man. But I really like it. Like here, let me just go into my Spotify really quick because there's a lot of good stuff, man. I don't care. I love country music. Like Keith Urban's really cool. Blake Shelton. One of my favorite music artists though is probably Ed Sheeran. He does a lot of good stuff. But that's pretty much it. But I also do listen to a lot of like obviously Japanese pop and stuff like that. Like Aqua is one of my favorite groups from Japan. They're amazing. Muse, that kind of stuff. Titanium Ninja Zane has butterflies in the chat. No, I haven't played Fall Guys, and I played Among Us for a little bit, but I just don't like Among Us. I have Fall Guys downloaded on my PlayStation, but your explanation on dust didn't make much sense, but that's what it is, though. Like, dust is just dead skin. And when you walk across a carpeted surface, the pressure from your feetsies causes all the dust to shoot up in the air, and then it lands on the Lego sets, and then they get dusty. But I have a can of compressed air on my desk for that specific reason. Is fake Lego Ninjago okay or not? It just depends on the person you are, I guess, because it's like, I personally don't want fake minifigures in my collection. I have one fake minifigure sitting here on the desk, but it just depends on the person, I guess. Like if you don't mind having fake figures among your real ones, then that's fine by me. Um, but I don't really like them. I did buy one fake figure one time at a flea market in New Orleans when I was visiting, because obviously I knew that it was fake because I could tell right away because I'm not stupid and I know my stuff about Ninjago. Um, but I bought it for the sake of a video comparison, and I keep it on my desk as like a little memento of that trip, so it's really nice. Do I watch Just Too Good? Nah, Just Too Good kind of isn't all that great to me either. But we do have 1 minute left on the stream. We will be going for a full hour, so I'll turn it over to rapid fire questions. So if you got like questions that I can answer within the span of like a sentence, then I will be answering some of those. So let's go ahead and get some rapid fire questions going. Who do you think's the smartest ninja? Zane, by default, obviously. How's the house today? Pretty good. Still very clean. I like it. Do I like Lloyd's new voice? Yes, absolutely. I feel like Sam Vincent does a really good job. Did I destroy your Halloween? Yes, you did. You made it snow. How could you? Scraping snow off my car for hours now. Do I think Harumi could come back at some point, maybe as like a ghost or a vision, perhaps? Will I do a face reveal? Already done it. You can go ahead and look it up online if you would like to see it. Would you consider doing a collab with Spitbricks? If he asked me, then maybe. I don't feel comfortable going up to people asking for collabs, and in a lot of ways, I prefer to work by myself on videos. Talk about that at a different time. How many Lego sets do I have? A lot. Most of them are in storage. Too much to go ahead and give an exact number. Princess Harumi or Princess Vanya? Gotta go with Vanya. She's just a better person than Harumi is, in my opinion. It's my birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to everyone's birthdays in the chat. Have I seen Phineas and Ferb or Milo Murphy's Law? I've seen neither of those. I'm not even sure what the second one is. I know Phineas and Ferb. Haven't watched it. I just know some of the memes from it, and that's about it. When is my birthday? November. Oh yeah, November's next month. Huh, how about that? Will Ninjago end next year? No, it's been confirmed to go till 2022. Worst anime I've seen, Sword Art Online or Citrus. One of those. Do a season 12 or season 13? Season 13. And let's go ahead and answer one more question. We'll pick one more to answer, and then we will end off the stream. So who's it going to be? Who is it going to be? Oh, we could probably answer that one because it's pretty good. Do you mind selling the sets that you keep in storage? I have before. Some of the sets are in storage. Some of them that I really didn't have room for, I just didn't want anymore in general. I actually did sell off on eBay. But some of the sets that are in storage right now are sets that I want to keep, or maybe I will actually rebuild them one day. But with that being said, you guys, that'll just about do it. So, just for a recap before we end off the stream, this is our streaming information. We are going to be streaming Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time. Obviously, since today is it Friday? What day is it? It's Friday, yeah. So it's Friday. So we're not going to be streaming tomorrow or Sunday. We will be back on Monday for the fourth part of the pilot season, and then we will continue with season 1 of Ninjago. So yeah, but obviously the episodes of streaming will consist of a review and a Q&A, and then I will update it day by day if there's any reason why I can't stream. So with that being said, guys, I will see you guys on Monday in terms of live streaming. I am all done for the weekend. There will be videos uploaded tomorrow and Sunday, but I will not be making any new videos unless unless something big comes out. I already have videos scheduled, so we'll see where that goes. In the meantime, guys, thank you for asking questions. Thank you to everybody who donated, and thank you to everyone who tuned in to watch the stream. Thanks for hanging out with me. I will see you guys on Monday for another stream, 12 p.m. Be there or be square. Thank you very much for watching. With all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. My name is TannerFishies, and with that, I bid you farewell.